All right, what's up, everyone? This is a new episode of Sports Harder. I am your host, Maddie Lukewarm Ice, and my stretchy co-host is always Chris the Gorilla Binder.
What's up?
What's up, my man?
Not much. Just got off work, so I do this podcast. Been up for a long time. Slept like a baby last night. I forget I went to bed at like 7:30. Fell asleep around 8. Woke up at like 6 o'clock this morning. It was kind of nice.
Man, old man going to bed, 8 o'clock.
I couldn't keep my eyes open last night. It was weird.
Oh, man. Well, we're excited to do a new episode. Are you ready for some football?
Yeah.
The time has come. We're like, this whole episode is just gonna be nothing but NFL talk. This is one of my favorite episodes to do just because of like predicting division winners for each division and like predicting who's gonna make it in that didn't make it in last year to the playoffs, who's going to be in the wild card, different things like that. Going to talk about fantasy football. Going to be talking about NFL rookie quarterbacks. And before we get into any of that, one thing I want to mention real quick, because the NFL Top 100 has already gotten down to number 11. They're going to do 10 through 1 this coming Sunday. And with that, I found it quite interesting. I didn't know if you watched it or not at all. Have you seen any of it?
I've seen a little bit of it, like just here and there on YouTube and stuff.
Okay.
We don't have cable at my house right now, so don't want
Okay.
cable. We just have streaming services and stuff. But no, seeing the one that stood out to me was Darren Waller jumping up from number 99 to number 35. Like, I like seeing that he's finally getting some respect, at least from the players in the NFL. Like, he's getting that respect, But number one's still going to be freaking Aaron Donald, man.
I don't think he'll be number 1, but he'll definitely be like top 3, I think. So,
Yeah, I think he'll be number 1.
And Jalen getting I think I can't remember exactly what number he was. I think he was at least top 20. I think he was like 18 or 19 or something like that. But Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, they are the only 2 Rams that made the list this year. To be honest, I think Cooper Kupp was on the list last year, but not this year. And I think he should still get his recognition. I still think he's a top 100 player. So it's kind of frustrating that he didn't get on the list this year. But we'll see now that he has Matthew Stafford if he can make the list again. After this year. So, but yeah, only 2 Rams players on the list. Kind of disappointing, but
Ramsey was number 13.
13, Jalen. Okay.
Yeah, he was 37 last year, so he bumped up a lot.
Yeah, and he was the top ranked in his position, so he was the highest ranked. So that's getting the nod from your teammates. And I think that's why he got a 99 overall for Madden, obviously. But the big reason why I actually brought it up is because I thought it was very interesting and funny that they still had Deshaun Watson on the list. And he was actually kind of high. I don't know if you see his number there
18.
or not. Huh?
He was number 18.
18. Okay. And top 100, when they do it, it's, they introduce the player and then they have other players talk about him and they show highlights and then the announcer, like hypes him up or whatever. They literally showed him. The announcer said, "Oh, well, we don't know what his season's going to look like this year, but last year he had a good season." And then that was it. They didn't have any players talk about him. Like, they didn't do any interviews with any players, nothing. And then they just stopped it and they moved on to the next player. It was like the shortest segment I've ever seen on the NFL Top 100, and then them not saying anything about him.
Well, what's funny is, like, I watch a bunch of Madden YouTube players and stuff. Like, it's Dom, Xerxes, the actual CC, ScoMo. They're all, and like a bunch of guys and stuff that I like watching. Shout out to all those guys if they ever watch this stuff. So, that they're really big in the Madden community for like Mutt and everything like that. There's some other guys that I watch too, but those are the main ones that I watch. But all of them have pulled like a Deshaun Watson card this year, and they won't even say his name.
Oh, wow.
They're just like quarterback number 4. Like they won't say his name because it's a bad taste right now. Like the civil suits started to fall off and everything. But I mean, you and I have talked about it. If he really did it, it should be a criminal investigation. Well, so many girls have come forward now that the FBI is actually investigating him. And it's the FBI, it's not local police, because it's happened all over the United States. So the FBI got involved and they're actually investigating him now. So I don't even think he's going to have a season.
Yeah, I doubt that he'll play this season. And what will happen is, he'll miss the whole year. The Texans will do awful. Little spoiler alert. I think they're gonna be like one of the worst teams in the NFL this year.
I don't think they'll be bad. Like they got Tyrod Taylor, dude. Tyrod Taylor is a good quarterback. He's underrated for sure.
If he stays healthy, like every season, like the first game of the season, he gets injured. Like
with the Chargers, that wasn't even his fault. Like last year, it was last year when the freaking doctor punctured his lung. Like, come on.
Yeah, well, I mean, then with the Browns, same thing happened. He was scrambling and got hit out of bounds and injured himself, and then Baker Mayfield went in. So I don't know. I think they'll do pretty terrible this year, and then they'll just get a top quarterback in the draft.
They got Mark Ingram, so they're gonna have a good running game.
Well, your running game is based on your offensive line as well.
Yeah, their offensive line sucks. It looks like everybody.
Like if you can't block for the running back, then it doesn't really do you much good, no matter how good of a running back you are.
But Ingram is a bowling ball. Like he'll still run people over. I don't see him getting 1,000 yards this year, but he'll still run people over. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I just wanted to do that quick little tidbit of the top 100 just because I thought it was really funny that basically they just, they said what number he got, 18. They said, oh, we don't know if he'll play this year, and then they just moved on, like, and they didn't have any interviews, no nothing. So I was just like, oh my goodness, they are really making sure that they tiptoe very carefully with that. I'm surprised they even allowed him to be on the top 100, to be honest, because of it.
Right?
Even though
the same thing.
Yeah, even though the players voted for him, it doesn't mean that they have to show it or allow it. So, but yeah, I just thought that was a little bit of a tidbit of an interesting thing. Let's move on to talking about rookie quarterbacks this preseason. The last podcast I got to talk to Colt a little bit about it, which was fun, and kind of, my perspective was that everyone always hypes up rookie quarterbacks, especially first rounders, in the preseason if they're doing well. And my opinion is it's the preseason. You're going against backup defenses. Like, yes, you still have to make the throws. Like, I mean, yeah, you have to make the throws. You have to have that ability. But it's a lot different when you're playing against number one defenses instead of second string defenses. But which quarterback, I guess, so far has stood out to you the most, that looks the most promising so far in preseason?
So I just want to kind of caveat this a little bit. Because you said, yeah, it's just preseason. Dude, Nathan Peterman has looked good in preseason. I'm a Raiders fan. Like, I love the Raiders, but Nathan Peterman on the Bills had 4 interceptions in 4 throws. Like, he threw the ball 4 times. It was intercepted all 4 times. Like, Come on now. Preseason, he looks good. So that's not saying much for these guys. I would say, honestly, to me, Trey Lance or Justin Fields look amazing. Trevor Lawrence, they need to do something with that offensive line because he's getting beat up already.
Already in preseason. That's not a good sign for things to come.
I think he's been sacked like 4 times already in preseason. And I'm like, you need to beef up your offensive line. You're going to bring in a number 1 quarterback like that and a guy that's supposed to be like the heir apparent to Tom Brady. Like, No, no.
It's gonna
pick,
be
pick something.
another Cincinnati Bengals situation with uh why am I blanking on his name right now? Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow just got killed his first season. Like he tore every ligament in his leg because he was getting like bullied back there. So I mean, they got to be careful with what's already happening in preseason. It's not like Trevor Lawrence is playing with the second offensive line. He's playing with the first offensive line. Like he's playing with the ones, and they're getting annihilated. So
Yeah. And Zach Wilson's looked okay, but like you said, he's actually taken like second team snaps. He has taken some first team snaps and stuff, but he's more, I don't know, he's accurate. I like watching how accurate he actually is. He's a lot more accurate than I thought he was coming out of college.
yeah,
Because the BYU, his accuracy wasn't that high. He struggled quite a bit, but Trey Lance is the biggest surprise for me because he didn't play much in college. I think they got like half a season of film for him. It wasn't even like a full season of film. And he was
yeah,
still drafted that high. He was drafted what, number three? Number
yeah. I
three,
was
number
gonna say,
four, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I know he was drafted in top five, and I was
Yeah,
like, man, that's a stretch. But then watching that kid play, like he's got a freaking cannon for an arm, and he's elusive as hell. Like he's like Patrick Mahomes mixed with Lamar Jackson. It's kind of cool to see. I wouldn't quite put him on that level of, ability, but
yeah.
when you have somebody that has all of those, what's the right word?
Tangibles.
Tangibles. Yeah, all of those tangibles and can put them together, he's going to be good. I mean, he's still going to sit behind Garoppolo for the whole year. Garoppolo's a starter. He's actually kept that spot and everything. So I don't see Trey Lance coming in unless the Niners are on like a bad losing streak or something, and Garoppolo's throwing the ball like garbage, and he's got like he's pulling a Ryan Leaf or something, and then Trey Lance may come in. But he's actually really surprised me. Justin Fields, I think, will be the starter by week 5 over Andy Dalton and the Bears. So I don't think Dalton's going to last that long because he's good, but he's not great. And
Yeah,
Justin Fields looked great.
yeah. He was looking really good. Justin Fields, I think, is kind of impressed me the most. The last preseason game, you were talking about Trey Lance. He went 8 for 14, 102 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Um, I know they're saying like everyone was making over that 80-yard throw that he made in the first preseason game. Like everyone was like, oh my gosh, like blowing up over it. And as soon as it happened, I was like, man, they're gonna start comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, just because Patrick Mahomes can throw it 80 yards. I mean, he threw it maybe like 60 or
No,
50.
he threw it 45 yards.
Yeah, 45. There you
It
go.
was 45. Like when you said it to me, you're like, check out this 80-yard throw. And I look at him like, dude, he threw it 45 yards. Like that's cool. But okay. My frustration with the NFL is the receivers don't get enough credit.
Yeah.
Like the quarterback threw an 80-yard touchdown. Well, the quarterback threw the ball 20 yards and the receiver ran 60, dodging everybody.
Yeah,
So,
yards after catch. Yeah.
yeah, you're not counting that yak, and you should. But I don't know. I think they should like separate that out to where it's quarterback threw an 80-yard reception, but 60 of that was yak, yards after catch.
Yeah, makes
They should
sense.
do something like that. Like they still get the yardage, but there's that little caveat to it.
So, what do you think of Mac Jones as well for the Patriots? Like he's in the mix for rookie quarterbacks. He's not talked about as much as some of those other ones, but do you think he is going to be able to steal away the starting job from Cam Newton?
Yep, absolutely. I think by probably week 2 or week 3, because Cam Newton's still throwing ducks, still throwing it into the dirt. And Mac Jones he looks like the most NFL ready out of all of them, out of all the rookie quarterbacks. Like he comes in and he leads the team. He's got the guys listening to him. And I mean, he's all over. Like, he's able to throw every pass.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I
he's
mean,
definitely a pocket passer, which is
yeah,
what Belichick wants,
exactly.
that's what he's used to, having Tom Brady all those years. So um I mean, yeah, he's been looking pretty good as well. And like I said, though, I still think he's kind of underrated in the sense of people talking about him. Like, they're talking about all these other, rookie quarterbacks more so than him.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think that's about it for rookie quarterbacks. A quarterback battle that I'd like to talk about real quick, and because I watched the Jaguars Saints game last night, I was watching it, and we've already talked about Trevor Lawrence, and he was getting killed even in that game. But the quarterback battle for the Saints, Jameis Winston is making a case. I mean, he went into the game and threw 2 touchdowns like in the first quarter. And he, the both of them were good wide receiver catches as well. Like the one was a one-handed grab, which was nuts. But he went in and kind of just dropped those dimes. And then, Taysom Hill goes in with the second string offensive line and the second string players, doesn't do as well. I mean, it's kind of like, they're setting Hill up for failure with doing that. Do you think who do you think is going to end up winning that battle in the end, though? I mean, me personally, I've already talked with Colt on the last podcast. I like Taysom Hill a lot better than Jameis Winston. But if Jameis is like throwing these bombs, in preseason, I think it's going to be hard for them to go against playing, Jameis.
I think what's going to happen is it's going to come down to um, who Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas are most comfortable with. I think that's what it's going to end up coming down to, and they're going to have a little bit of say in it. Normally, players don't have say in who the starting quarterback is, but I think Sean Payton's going to take that into consideration and say, look, Jameis Winston has more of a connection with Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara, and there are 2 big stars. You're not our star. Like, the quarterback isn't the star.
Yeah.
And I like Taysom Hill. I like his tangibles. I like everything that he brings to the game because that guy can do everything. He's shown it, and Jameis Winston is Mr. 30 and 30.
Yep.
That guy, he makes me nervous. Like, he can throw 5,000 yards in a season. He's proven that. And he can throw 35 touchdowns in a season. But he's careless with the ball. Like, he fumbles and he throws interceptions, and he doesn't really know how to read a defense the way Taysom Hill does. Maybe Sean Payton's working with him, or the quarterback's coach is actually working with him to get him to where he can actually be able to read a defense a little better and be able to know where I'm going to drop this dime, where I'm going to actually like run the ball, how I'm going to get it off to Kamara properly. I can't say for sure because I don't know what the coaching staff is working on with him. But if it's the same, they may start him at like the first few weeks. And if he starts pulling that Tampa Bay bull crap that he did, then they're going to bench him and bring Taysom Hill in. But the problem is that they've got Taysom Hill now as a full-time quarterback, so they can't use him as that like Swiss Army knife this year. And that's going to hurt him because he was huge for the Saints over the last couple of years, being that Swiss Army knife. He comes in as a running back, comes in as a tight end, as a wide receiver. He's returned kicks. Like, the kid does everything. And he played quarterback, but now that they have him as a full-time quarterback, they can't use that. And is that going to hurt Jameis Winston because they don't have that anymore?
Yeah, that's true. They're gonna have to focus on other people stepping up more so. I feel like, Michael Thomas needs to, step up more. I mean, I think he was injured most of last year.
Yeah.
Kamara is already established that, he's able to do that.
Yeah, with his 6
Yeah.
rushing touchdowns last year in one game, like, that was awesome. That was fun to watch, dude.
Yeah. have a little bit of an echo going on my phone, so I might not cancel, but finish this recording real quick and then start up another one just so that echo goes away. I think
Just
it's
turn your
because
volume down.
I did,
Oh,
but I had a phone call try to come through, and I think that's why it's like echoing now.
makes sense.
So I'm going to do that real quick. It gives the listening people a nice little break from us. So let's do that. Boop. And then I will start up another recording here. It'll be nice once I'm in Utah, we'll be able to we'll be able to do this face to face, so we won't have any problems.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go. Okay, awesome. We're back. So actually some breaking news, since I was looking at my phone with everything that was going on. ESPN reports Jaguars rookie running back Travis Etienne suffers a Lisfranc, I don't know, a mid foot sprain that is likely to end his season.
Oh crap.
So anybody that's drafted him to try in their fantasy to try to get some stuff going, that's no longer happening.
Sucks to suck.
Well, I was man, like I felt like they weren't really going to utilize him the right way anyways. Like I feel like he was such an amazing and talented running back in college, but then they wanted to put him at wide receiver. I mean, I don't know. It just didn't make any sense to me, but what do I know? I mean, who knows? Maybe he wouldn't work out as a running back in the NFL, but
Well, I mean, they have James Robinson, dude. He was an undrafted free agent rookie, rushed for like 1,200 yards. He was freaking amazing last year, you know. So why are you going to bring Travis Etienne and cause an issue basically between him and James Robinson? Like James Robinson's already earned the starting position, so Etienne would just be a backup at best. So why not utilize all of his skills? Because the guy can catch the ball out of the backfield really well. So see if he can line up in a slot. You know, I don't agree that that changing somebody's position is a good thing, but sometimes it can be. You know, like look at Charles Woodson, changed from corner to safety, and won a Super Bowl. Like,
yeah.
became one of the best safeties to ever play the game. You know, I don't know.
No, it's definitely true. Depending on like the situation, sometimes it can be a good thing. But I don't. I just was always amazed at how good he was as a running back in college. And I know college is different than the NFL, but uh, you know, kind of like Lamar Jackson said, he was like, everyone wanted to change me from quarterback, and he was like, I'm a quarterback, and that's what I'm going in as. And with him sticking to his guns, it worked out for him, so he didn't have to change positions just to make it in the NFL. Because I know with him being so quick, they wanted him to go to wide receiver, but he was like, no, I'm a quarterback. So, but yeah, like you said, sometimes it is definitely beneficial for him. So yeah, all right. Well, with that,
Speaking of college running backs, I just want to bring up Najee Harris really quick. Did you watch I think it was week 1 that he did it, where he's really known in Alabama for like hurdling people. Like he'd run at somebody and jump over him.
Yeah.
Well, he tried it in the NFL, and the dude grabbed his legs and slammed him into the ground and just looked at him and said, "Not here, buddy." That was amazing to watch.
Just blood. No, no, no. Not in my house. That's too funny. Yeah, on the last podcast, Colt was saying that like any defensive player looks at like a rookie offensive player and is just like, I can't wait to put him like on his butt and just basically be like, hey, welcome to the NFL. Like,
right,
this is a whole nother beast. Like,
we're gonna hit you a lot harder than they did in college. So
yeah. All right. Well, that's awesome. Well, is there anything else do you think that we should cover? Any topics that you've been wanting to talk about before we get into like division winners and stuff?
No, I just want to like shout out to Nate Hobbs. Like he's a rookie corner, 5th-round pick out of for the Raiders. Dude, that kid had the game of his freaking life against the Rams. Like it was amazing to watch him. Like he was getting in the backfield. He was rushing the passer. And then he had that interception that he like hurdled over your freaking receiver. I don't remember the receiver that he jumped over, but like he straight up jumped over him and the receiver was hitting him like right here. Nate Hobbs was like 6 foot, dude. Like that's how high up Nate Hobbs got. Like
He's
kid
trying
had
to earn his
game,
spot, man.
he had the game of his life, dude. And it's nice to see somebody in the secondary get drafted and come in and do good, you know?
Yeah. Hey man, I mean, one player like that can make a big difference on a team. So that's awesome that he's trying to earn his spot. That's what makes preseason special for those type of guys is, they're trying to earn their spot. So
Yep.
I know a lot of people get bored because it's a lot of, second string, third string people, but that's their Super Bowl. Preseason is their Super Bowl because they have to prove that, they can be on the team. So
Well, they're either one of 53 or one of 47.
yeah.
Like you're either off the team or you're not, like, or you're on the team. And they have to make the roster cuts down to 53. I think it's the 31st. So they have like 2 weeks, a week next week. So they had to drop to 80 today and they have to drop to 53 next week.
Yeah, exactly. So the time is now. The time has come. Alrighty. Well, anything else before we move on to divisions?
No, I'm good.
Alrighty. I always feel bad. I feel like I'm always like conducting things and being like, well, I want to talk about this and I want to talk about this. I gotta.
But you're the host. I'm the co-host.
Yeah, but
host picks the music. Co-host shuts his cornhole. Little supernatural feed there for you.
Oh, there you go. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, let's start in the AFC then. Let's start in the AFC East. We got the Patriots, the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins. Now last year, I probably should have brought up
the Bills won it last year.
Huh?
The Bills won it last year.
Yeah, but just the stats in general, like every team like ended up falling in the division. I probably should have brought that up, but I only just brought up who's in what division. But yeah, the Bills definitely won it for sure. But the Dolphins, they were making their push, not to win it, but they were trying to make their push. Because I think the Dolphins missed the playoffs, didn't they, by like a game? I think they missed the wild card by a game, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah, by 1 game.
Yeah, so they missed out on that.
So yeah, it was the Bills took first in the division at 13-3. Dolphins were second, 10-6. Patriots were 7-9, and the Jets were 2-14.
Nice little thing there. Well, I can start off with this one. I think the Bills are going to take this division again. I think the Dolphins will be second, Patriots will be third, and then the Jets. I'm sorry, you're going to be at the bottom again. I know everyone has such high hopes with Zach Wilson coming in and everything, but I still think the Patriots will have a better record than the Jets, but I think the Bills still take it with the Dolphins behind them. And I think the Dolphins, I think they'll actually make the playoffs this year. I think they'll get in as a wild card. They missed it last year, but I think this year is going to be their year to get in, and one of the other teams will miss out this time.
Nice. I kind of feel the same way on that. I think the Bills are going to win it, and the Dolphins are going to go in as the wild card. And I think the Jets have a little better record than they did this year. I see them winning like probably 5 games. But that's really about it. And the Patriots they'll push the Dolphins. I think it's going to be a little closer than we think between the Patriots and the Dolphins, just because, like I said, Cam Newton is going to be kicked out like probably third week. And it'll be Mac Jones, and Mac Jones will come in and he'll actually do some good for the team.
Oh, nice. That'll be interesting. The Patriots and the Jets pushing each other for last place to see who's going to get last place. I mean, when's the last time we've said that when it comes to the Patriots?
No, let me clarify. I think the Patriots are actually going to push the Dolphins a little bit.
Okay.
For second place, I think it's going to be closer than we think. But the Jets are clearly going to be at the bottom again.
Fair enough. But I mean, it has been the Patriots division for how many years? I mean, and now we're talking about the Bills.
All the Tom Brady years.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm just going to say it. Josh Allen's still the best quarterback in that division by far.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he definitely is. And he hasn't reached his peak yet, I don't think either. So like he's still gonna. And last year he was my dark horse for MVP at the beginning of the season. I said it. And he was in the running, like he was up there. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have done all the insane stats that he did, I mean, he could have maybe won it. But he was still in the mix, so I was at least right about that. I knew he was going to be in the mix for it. So let's see. Next is the AFC North, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cleveland Browns, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the tightest divisions that there is this year between the 3 teams. But I'm saying it this year, again, the Cleveland Browns take the division.
You jinxed them last year, and...
Dude, they made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs. Yes, they made the playoffs.
I was actually really happy with that. Like their team, they've got a pretty stacked team this year, and they've added some more talent. So they're going to be pretty good. I think they take first. Ravens take second and make the playoffs as a wild card. And Pittsburgh does not make the playoffs. They take third. And Cincinnati takes fourth.
Man, well, I actually 110% agree with exactly how you ordered it. That's exactly how I was going to say it too. So I don't even have to repeat anything. I definitely agree with you. And, big shocker with the Browns. But yeah, I think the Browns will take it. They added a lot more weapons, and especially on defense. And, that defense was already pretty good, and they added some more talent. So yeah, I think the Browns will take it, and Cleveland will go nuts for winning the division for the first time in forever. I think the Ravens will get second, like you said, and I think they'll get in as a wild card. And then Steelers fans, sorry, I'm sorry, but Big Ben has had it. Everyone's all hyped up with him coming back and how he's been playing in preseason, but the Steelers just don't have enough to be able to do it. And then Cincinnati, you're still in rebuild. So, even with Joe Burrow coming back, it's not going to help. So,
yeah,
like you said, it's going to be tight though. Like it's still going to be hard. It's going to be like a game separating, everyone, like a game or two. Let's see. So AFC South. So we got the Tennessee Titans, the Houston Texans, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Tennessee, I'm pretty sure, took it last year.
Yep, Tennessee took it. Colts were tied at 11-5 record, but they ended up getting the wild card because the Titans had beat them. Texans finished 4-12, and Jacksonville finished 1-15 as the worst team in the league.
So yeah, for this one, I think Tennessee will take it again. I like that they added Julio Jones to their offense. I think that gives them another dynamic wide receiver for Tannehill. It doesn't put as much pressure on Henry to have to run through everyone, even though I mean he's going to do that anyways. But I still think they take it, and then the Colts will be in second. Houston will be in third, and then Jacksonville will be last again. I think they'll probably win more than one game this year, but not by much. Maybe they'll win 3 games. Like they're still not going to win very many games. I'm sorry, Jacksonville. Again, you guys think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the miracle worker with Urban Meyer, but that's going to take some time to build. So you guys got to wait a little while before that happens.
So I've actually got mine a little different than yours on this one.
Okay.
I think Tennessee takes it. I think Houston comes in second.
What?
With Tyrod Taylor.
Oh my goodness.
I think Houston comes in second. I think the Colts are going to be third. They're going to struggle because they have Mr. Injury-prone Carson Wentz. They do have a good offensive line, definitely better than the Eagles, but like Carson Wentz is going to step wrong throwing the ball and break his foot. Like, he's been injured more than he's played. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he's definitely a damn good quarterback, but you got to stay on the field to prove it, And so I think the Colts will drop down to third. Me saying the Texans are going to take second does not mean they're going to make the playoffs. They're still going to have a losing record. I think the only team in this division that has a winning record is Tennessee.
Wow. Okay.
The Texans will take second, and they'll be like maybe one game ahead of the Colts, and the Jaguars will be down there. They'll probably have like 3 or 4 wins.
Yeah, so you agree with me, maybe 3 wins, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough, understandable. I'm trying to think with how many teams get in for the playoffs, because I know they expanded, the wild card.
Yeah, it's only 3 wild cards. 3 wild cards and 4 division winners.
Okay, so we already. Oh, so we already said Miami would be a wild card.
And the Ravens.
And the Ravens.
Yep.
So that's the only 2 that we've picked. So there'd be one more, right?
Yep.
Okay. So it would have to be someone from the AFC West then. So the AFC West would be Kansas City Chiefs, Denver Broncos, the Las Vegas Raiders, and Los Angeles Chargers.
Yep. So
I think I started the last one, so you can kind of go over this division.
So the Chiefs lost a couple players, but then filled them back in. So they lost like Mitchell Schwartz at guard, but brought in Kyle Long. They brought in some replacements, good replacements for a little bit cheaper so that they could keep their main core of players. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's going to have a little bit bigger of a year this year because he doesn't have LaShawn McCoy sitting behind him. I think they're going to have a much better year than they did last year, which is sad because they lost 2 games, one to the Raiders and one because they didn't play any of their starters. And then they lost the Super Bowl. They got their asses handed to them in the Super Bowl. That was terrible. But I still think they win the division, as much as it hurts me to say that. And then I think it's going to be close between the Chargers and the Raiders for second place. They were separated by 1 game last year. I think the same is going to happen this year. I think the Raiders win 10 and the Chargers win 9. I think that's what's going to happen. And I think the Raiders actually get that third and final playoff spot. The wild card spot. The Broncos are still going to suck. They didn't really do too much. Like they added a couple corners and then they brought in Teddy Bridgewater, but Bridgewater couldn't lead the Panthers to anything. Unfair to say because Christian McCaffrey got injured, but I still don't think he's enough to bring the Broncos over the hump of the Raiders and the Chargers. Like both the Raiders and the Chargers were in rebuild mode the last 2 years and still actually did really well. The Justin Herbert looks freaking amazing, and he is probably he's the one that scares me the most. Like we all know Mahomes is going to go off. Mahomes is going to be Mahomes, but Justin Herbert, second year, it's either going to be he's a beast or he's sophomore slump.
Yeah.
I'm hoping sophomore slump. But the kid looked good. You know, I have to give credit where it's due, and he looked really good last year. But yeah, I still think the Raiders beat him out by 1 game to get into that final wild card spot.
Alrighty, fair enough. So mine's a little different than yours. I do think that the Chiefs are going to win it again. You know, when you got Mahomes as your quarterback, you have you have a good chance. So you know, I had, barring like injury or something, like the Chiefs are going to win it and get in again. I do agree it probably will be close, but I think the Chargers are actually going to take the last wild card spot with Herbert and how well he played last year.
For those listening, I just flipped Matt off.
Yeah. Sorry. And they got, some people coming back from injury on defense, which I think can help them get over the hump of some of the games that they lost last year. They were always losing by like a field goal or, like an extra point or something. It was ridiculous how close their games were. That wasn't Justin Herbert's fault, but the defense fault or special teams or whatever it was.
And see that's where I think the Raiders come up. Sorry, I'm just cutting you off really quick. That's where why I think the Raiders are actually going to win it is because it was defense last year that caused us to lose all those games. Like we go in leading the Chiefs in the second game, like we're beating the crap out of them, and then we hit that last second, like there's like a minute 2 left. Carr hits Witten to take the lead for the touchdown, and then the defense just lets Mahomes march down the field. Like the defense sucked, but the Raiders took the Chargers' #1 corner, Casey Hayward. We got Yannick Ngakoue. We've beefed up our defensive line. We just signed, I think it was Gerald Everett.
What, the tight end from the Rams?
No, not Gerald Everett. Gerald McCoy. We signed Gerald McCoy for interior defense. We have they're looking at signing KJ right now to beef up linebackers. We beefed up the freaking defensive secondary. Everything looks so much better for the Raiders than they did last year. Like this is me being a Raiders fan, being a little biased, but at the same time, like we took the Chargers' #1 corner. Yeah. They didn't replace him. So we now have Casey Hayward, who is a beast. He balls out, but that's where I think the Raiders got the edge over the Chargers. Our defense we souped up our defense a lot. We're not going to be number 30 this year. We're probably going to be like number 29.
Little by little getting up there, slowly but surely.
I will honestly say I think the Raiders will be a top 15 defense this year.
Hey, there you go. Hey, that'll definitely help out for sure. But I don't know. I just have a good feeling about the Chargers. I think they'll sneak in and get that last wild card spot. And then I agree, the Broncos aren't doing anything to to really put up a fight. So they'll be at the bottom again. Mr. Bias. No, I'm joking. You just a little bit. You're
biased with your Rams.
No, yeah, you're right. You are definitely not wrong about that. Sorry, awesome. Well, now we can move to the NFC. So let's start with the NFC East. Like I said last year, and I think this year, it's one of the weakest divisions in the NFL. I'm sorry. It's a very weak division. We got the Washington football team, the New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Dallas Cowboys. So with that,
none of whom had a winning record last year.
nope.
None of them.
Nope. that is true. With that, the Washington football team ended up taking it last year. And to be honest, I think the Washington football team will take it again. I like their defense a lot. You know, Ron Rivera has made a pretty stout defense there. And, you know, that's what he's known for, you know, and he's definitely put that into place. You know, I think once they find their franchise quarterback, it'll be a lot better too. They still don't have one, but you know, that defense can definitely hold them and keep them in games. So I'm gonna go with the Washington football team taking it. The Dallas Cowboys will be in second, I think, because they still have a pretty potent offense, but I'm still not sold on the defense. The defense has got to prove something to me this year, because I mean, you go from having the worst defense in the history of Cowboys franchise, you know, that you have to have a lot to make a big jump from there. And I know they, you know, are high on Micah Parsons or whatever, the linebacker that they got in the first round. And
yeah, and he's already injured. He might be out for the whole season. Yeah.
When did he get injured? Practice?
Week 2, yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that he was injured. Maybe they'll talk about that on Hard Knocks tonight.
But he is the highest graded linebacker in preseason right now.
Oh wow.
Let's look at his injury really quick. Not showing. Huh. Maybe his injury is fine.
Huh. Maybe it
So,
wasn't anything too bad then.
yeah, it looked like his knee when he went down, but he seems to be fine. No, what's funny about Micah Parsons, just throwing it out there, he opted out for the 2020 season at Penn State. He didn't play.
Yeah.
Because of COVID. And he's coming out balling out on the Cowboys, but one guy cannot save a defense.
That is true. I think New York will take third, and then the Eagles will be in fourth. They'll be in last. You know, the Eagles, they still got a lot to rebuild as well now after having that Super Bowl run. But I think the Giants defense kind of stepped up last season as well. Hopefully Saquon Barkley will be healthy and playing at the top level that he did when he was a rookie. And, you know, that'll help them a lot. You know, I'm not sold on Jones as their quarterback, but, you know, it's, you know, they're sticking with them and they love them. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Washington football team, and then none of the others will make a wild card, and they'll have pretty bad records.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of agree with you on all of that. So Washington football team, they have Fitzmagic this year. And he's got a damn good receiver to throw to in scary Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin's quick and the dude has hands. You know, they kind of went through some quarterback issues last year, going back and forth between Dwayne Haskins and Alex Smith and what was it, Trevor, whatever the hell his name is.
Tennessee?
Something like that, yeah.
Heineke or whatever.
Heineke. Yeah, Taylor Heineke. That's what it was. And they still pulled a 7-9 record. Like, they struggled with some stuff, but they've actually kind of added some defense. They've added some offensive line. You know, they've got Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is, he's proven to be a solid quarterback. He's never going to be like the top quarterback in the league, but he's proven to be a solid quarterback. He's like a Tyrod Taylor, you know, he's that stand-in quarterback that does good, helps the team out until they actually get like their main quarterback, their franchise quarterback. So like him and Tyrod Taylor have kind of bounced around the league doing that. Cowboys, as long as Dak Prescott can stay healthy, I think they take second place. Without Dak Prescott, they're going to drop down to last place. So he's the key to the Cowboys actually doing anything, but I still don't think they have a winning record. The Giants, like you said, I'm not sold on Jones either. He's good to an extent, but when you fumble the ball and you fall on your face running, with nobody touching you, like that kind of means that you don't know how to run on your own 2 feet, and you can't really lead a full team doing that. That was almost as embarrassing as the butt fumble for Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, the butt fumble. Yeah.
I mean, it's just that was embarrassing to watch. Like even to watch, I was like, wow. You showed the fact that you're white and you can't run. So, but I think the Eagles really pushed the Giants because I think Jalen Hurts isn't the franchise quarterback either for the Eagles, even though like everybody's claiming that he's going to be. I think he gets pulled probably week 5, week 6 for Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco goes off to try to get a bigger contract to finish out his career. He wants to prove that he's still a starter, So I think he's going to tear it up. And, Jalen Rager's actually coming off injury from last year. He was a rookie last year. He was my favorite for rookie of the year. And then the dude gets injured in preseason, misses most of the season. So kind of killed me there. But I was a jinx last year, wasn't I? Wow. I'm really realizing just how bad of a jinx I was, dude. But
you really were, especially for the Texans. Every time you would pick them as like your upset.
The Texans, the Browns, Jalen Rager, I just screwed everybody over.
We called you the kiss of death there for a little while.
Yeah, I still think the Eagles are going to be the bottom, but I think it's going to be close between them and the Giants for who's the bottom. I don't think Saquon Barkley plays the full season. He hasn't since his rookie year. So he's the Derrick Rose of football right now.
Oh gosh, not a good comparison.
Well, he's had a lot of the same injuries that Derrick Rose had.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my take on it. I still think Washington wins it, and I think they actually have a winning record this year. I think they're going to go like 9-6 or 9-8 because it's 17.
Yeah.
Year, right? Yeah. So they're going to go 9-8 this year. So they'll actually have a winning record. They'll be the only ones in that division that do.
Nice. Awesome. Then we move on to the NFC North, which is the Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, and the Minnesota Vikings.
Last year, Green Bay won it 13-3. They had 13 wins, 3 losses. The Bears were second at 8-8. This year, I honestly, I think because Rodgers decided to come back for the 1 year, I think he's going to play his heart out and try to get one more ring with the Packers. I think they win the division, and I think they go off this year. They have all their players back except for like a couple linemen or something like that. But they brought pretty much everybody back that went 13-3. So I think they're going to be pretty solid. I don't see the Bears taking second place this year. I see the Vikings taking second place.
All righty.
I think Kirk Cousins has something to prove because he's in I think he's in the final year of his contract with the Vikings, and he wants to still prove that he's a starting caliber quarterback. Like people are actually saying he's not even like a top 20 quarterback. And I mean, he's got Justin Jefferson, he's got Adam Thielen, he's got Kyle Rudolph, and then he's got Dalvin Cook. Like, why is he not like a top 10 quarterback? And it comes down to it's him. He's not really that good.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be the year that he kind of balls out to try to prove to everybody that he deserves to still be a starting caliber quarterback. He still deserves to be a starter and still deserves to be there. He got $81 million guaranteed to come to the Minnesota Vikings. $81 million guaranteed. That was ridiculous. And he hasn't proven shit. But
That's very true.
I think the Bears, they're going to go out and lose their first 4 games, honestly, with Andy Dalton. And that's when they're going to pull Andy Dalton and put Justin Fields in. They're not going to come back and win every game. But if the trade that they're talking about goes through, the Bears are going to take second place. And the trade that's being talked about is with the Browns, the Bears trading Akeem Hicks to the Browns for Odell Beckham.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If the Bears get Odell Beckham, they're second place, hands down. But for right now, I'm saying that trade's not going to happen. And the Vikings take second place, the Bears take third, and the Lions take fourth. And they're probably tied in the win and loss column with the Bears at I could see them both doing an 8-8. But the Bears have the third place because they won the tiebreaker,
Fair enough. I definitely agree with you. The Packers are going to take it again. They have Aaron Rodgers, the reigning MVP. They got, all the offensive weapons. The defense is still pretty good. So yeah, Packers easily take it. I feel like they're going to win that division and make a good run in the playoffs. I I'm gonna do a bold prediction, and I'm actually gonna say that the Bears take second place, and that they shock everyone, and Justin Fields shocks everyone, and he leads that team to a wild card. They're gonna take second place, and they're gonna get in as a wild card. And the defense is gonna step up for them and be better. I don't know. I just have a good feeling about them. I think they're going to shock a lot of people, and they're going to be one of the teams that gets in that didn't get in last year. Because there's always a handful of teams that did make it last year, don't make it this year. I think they said it's always like 3 teams or something, or 4 teams that always rotate and for the playoffs. So I think the Bears are going to be one of them. They're going to get in and they're going to shock a lot of people.
The Bears were in last year.
Huh?
The Bears were the wild card last year.
Were they?
Yeah. They were one of the wild card teams.
Oh
the
gosh. Yeah, you were right.
The Rams and the Bucks.
Oh, you were right. They were.
Because they beat Arizona in the last game. Or they beat a team that Arizona lost to. So that's how they had the tiebreaker over Arizona.
That's right. Oh man, I totally forgot about that. Oh, it says that they lost to New Orleans. So, well, I still think that they'll get in again. Like I said, I think Fields is going to really shock a lot of people. I think he wins Rookie of the Year. So I'm going to throw that out there too.
Wow.
So I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. But yeah. Shoot, what was the other teams? Oh, then the Vikings. The Vikings will be next. I think they'll push the Bears, though. I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to come down to a tiebreaker, like a game or whatever. It's going to be super close. And then the Lions, I don't have as high hopes as you do for them. I think they're gonna have a really bad record. I think they're gonna have a losing record. So,
no, so do I.
Oh, I thought you said that they would be like 8-8 or whatever. No, what'd you say? I can't remember.
I said I could see them being 8-8. Well, they'd be 8-9, so it'd be a losing record. Yeah.
Okay.
I keep forgetting that it's 17 games this year.
But I don't even think they'll win 8 games, to be honest. I think they're gonna really struggle this year. They don't have Matthew Stafford to bail them out in some of the games that they did last year. So,
but they got Goff.
Oh yeah. they're set now. So yeah, hate to harp on my former quarterback, but yeah, no, I don't think that's going to help them. So yeah, I think that'll be that's how that plays out. The NFC South is the Saints, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Bucks. I think you started the last one, so I'll start this one. This one will be interesting because I feel like the Saints, even though they won't have Drew Brees, I still think they're well coached, and they have they have offensive weapons. Even with it being either Jameis or Hill, I think they'll still be in contention to get the division. But I think the Bucks will actually take it away from them this year. I think they found their rhythm on defense in the playoffs, and I think they're finding their groove. Um, so I think the Bucks will actually take the division. The Saints will be in second. They'll make the playoffs as a wild card. Um, and then Carolina and Atlanta is very interesting because I think they'll probably duke it out to see who gets the last place. But I don't have high hopes for either team. They'll probably duke it out for losing records. I could see maybe the Falcons getting third, and then the Panthers being in last. So, because I mean they got freaking what's his buck is their quarterback.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, yeah. So, I don't think him changing teams is going to do a lot for his career. I think he's still going to probably play, the same quality that he did when he was with the Jets. So,
yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, I think the Bucks take the division. The Saints get the wild card in second place. I think the Falcons take third. I think, Carolina is going to show that Sam Darnold was really who everybody thought he was with the Jets. Mr. 2-14. Mr. Never having a winning record.
yeah.
Last time I had a winning record was with Mark Sanchez. Terrible, man. Terrible.
Oh, terrible. Terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while. But no, I don't think the Panthers do anything, even with McCaffrey coming back. I think McCaffrey's going to ask for an out after this year, just go somewhere else. I don't think he's happy with Carolina because they're never going to win with him. He wants to go to a team and win.
Well, yeah.
So, but yeah, the Bucks, they came on strong at the end of the year for sure. They had 4 straight wins. They went 4-1 in their last 5 before the playoffs. They definitely stepped up. Their defense started meshing really well together, where before they were kind of in the beginning of the season, they were struggling. And I mean, name another team that the quarterback throws 4 interceptions and they come back and still win the damn game.
Yeah.
in the NFC Championship.
Right.
Yeah, that was bad coaching by the Packers. I'm just going to say it. But either way, I don't think the Bucks are going to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I'm just throwing that out there. But they'll win their division with the Saints getting the wild card.
Awesome. Like it. The last one will be the NFC West, which is the Arizona Cardinals, the San Francisco 49ers, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Los Angeles Rams.
And I go first on this one.
Yeah.
The
Seahawks took it last year.
Yeah, and the Rams got the wild card last year. I'm going to say that there's going to be 2 wild cards that come out of this division because I obviously didn't pick the other 2 divisions. So I don't think the Seahawks win it this year. I think they actually get the wild card. I see Arizona winning it this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Dude, they have stacked their team so much. And they had they lost Patrick Peterson. Yeah. But I mean, they still have Budda Baker. Then they got JJ Watt. Then they got, who was it? They picked up AJ Green. Kyler Murray is balling out. So I really think that they have a chance at winning this division. I think the Seahawks take third. I think the Rams take second, and I think it's going to be a 1-game difference or a tiebreaker difference between those two on who's second and third. But the Rams and the Seahawks will get the the wild card while the Cardinals actually win the division, and the whole division is going to be close. I could see all of them having winning records, all 4 teams.
Oh,
As
wow.
long as Garoppolo stays healthy, the Niners are pretty good. You know, they're not a terrible team as long as their defense stays healthy, because they had a top tier defense, and then everybody on their defense got hurt last year, and then Garoppolo got hurt last year. So I mean, they were playing with their 3rd string quarterback for most of the year. But I could see them having a winning record. It's not going to be like a high winning record. It'll be like just above 50%. So I could see them like 9-8, you know, and then the Cardinals will be like 12-5, while the Rams are 11-6, and the Seahawks are 11-6. You know, it's going to be like a super close division. I think this is probably one of the strongest divisions in the entire NFL.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is one of the hardest divisions to play in right now, with all the talent that's on each team. You know, I obviously I'm a little biased, but you know, I still think the Rams, with adding Matthew Stafford, have a chance to take the division this year. You know, we still have a pretty stout defense. You know, I feel like, yeah, we lost some pieces on it, but you know, some people that were injured last year can replace those people. Like Taylor Rapp is coming off of injury, and he's going to replace, you know, one of the people that we lost in that position, you know. And he was good when he was playing. Like, I felt like he solidified his position. Yes, we lost Cam Akers. I know recently Darrell Henderson was saying, they said he hurt his thumb in practice, and they were worried that it was going to be like a severe injury, but the MRI came back negative. So they said he'll be ready for week 1, but he just, you know, won't practice and won't play in the preseason, but he'll be ready by week 1. I feel like we could still try to pick up a running back, to be honest, somehow. Just pick up a running back from somewhere. I know they're very excited about some of the running backs that we got in the draft, like Jake Funk and stuff like that. But
Wait, what was his name?
isn't it Jake Funk, right?
Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time.
But yeah, so I think it's gonna be close, but the Rams will take it. And then in second will be the Cardinals. I think they'll take the 3rd wild card spot. And then the Seahawks will just miss out barely. They'll have a winning record, like you were saying, but they're gonna miss out just by like a game or like a tiebreaker with the Cardinals. And then the 49ers will be in last, but like you said, I could see them still having a winning record, but just not good enough in that division. So yeah, I still think Rams will take it. Cardinals will get the other wild card and finally get in. And then the Seahawks will miss out for the first time in quite a while in Russell
In
Wilson.
Russell Wilson's history.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's one of those things where maybe that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and he'll finally like stick to his guns of wanting to be traded and want to leave. So that could be the thing that finally makes him want to go for real instead of just threatening it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be every division we went through, talked about who's going to win. We kind of, you know, put some other stuff out there, you know, like rookie of the year and different things like that, talking about records. So I'm going to go back, and I'm actually going to type out all of our predictions, and then we'll see how well we did once it gets to the end of the season. We're going to start doing our game picks again, our NFL picks of the week. Picks of the week.
Yeah.
NFL picks of the week. I know you missed that intro. Like, that was something you look forward to every single week.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't throw out my rookie of the year. You did. You said
did, yes.
Fields, right?
Justin Fields, yep.
It's hard, man. because I don't want to pick the same as you, but he's got the best chance.
Right?
Yeah, I have to go Justin Fields as well. Like, I really think he's got the intangibles, man. He's a beast. He's going to be good. It doesn't mean the Bears are going to win shit, but
Yes, it
he's definitely
does.
good. He's definitely good, and I'll give him credit. So, who do you think is going to take MVP this year?
Oh my gosh, MVP. Gosh, I know I said before Josh Allen just because he was my dark horse last year. And it's hard to repeat as MVP, so it's gonna be hard for Aaron Rodgers to repeat as MVP. It seems like they always try to pick someone different, for that.
Plus, he goes 48-3 again this year, like 48 touchdowns, 3 picks. Like, you kind of have to go for him again.
Well, I mean, it's like Mahomes when he won. I can't remember what year it was, but when he won MVP, the next year he put up better stats than he did his MVP year. But then they gave it to Lamar Jackson
Because Lamar Jackson's running stats were better.
Yeah, because he broke Michael Vick's record, and so they were just like, okay, well, we're going to give it to him. I really think it could be. I know everyone says there's a rivalry between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, but I really think it would be a better rivalry between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Like,
right?
I think that's a way better rivalry. Like, because they have winning teams, and I could see them going against each other in the playoffs again. I could see it being between them two, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, to be honest. I think they're going to go back and forth between who's going to get it, like one week, they'll be like, oh, Josh Allen did really good. He's the front runner. And then Patrick Mahomes will be like, well, here, I'm going to throw 5 TDs in one game. And then they'll be like, oh, Patrick Mahomes is making his case. So I really think it'll go back and forth between them two.
I could see that. The other thing that's really funny is Josh Allen's backup was the guy that the Bears jumped up one spot to take ahead of Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
He's now Josh Allen's backup.
Yep.
That's funny to me. I think the MVP is going to go to Tom Brady.
Oh, wow.
I think it'll be his last year. I think he's going to retire after this year. And I think he's just done, and they're just going to give him the MVP because he's Tom Brady. Like, he'll put up stats. Don't get me wrong. He's going to put up the stats. But I honestly think that that's where that's going to go.
Be interesting. I mean, I feel like his INTs are always not high, but higher than others, and so I feel like that kind of puts him out of the running sometimes, because his INTs are a little bit higher than other people's.
Yeah.
Because he just doesn't have as much zip on the ball as the young guns.
I still think he'll get it this year, though. I think they'll give it to him and he'll retire.
Fair enough. Defensive player of the year.
Aaron Donald.
Ha! Yeah.
It's going to be either him or Yannick Ngakoue. That's it. I could see Ngakoue getting up there, like making a push for it.
Making a push for it.
I'm gonna say last year, I don't think that Aaron Donald should have got it.
Yeah,
Just
I know
saying.
a lot of people feel that way.
Well, who was it? There's the other guy that was right there.
TJ Watt.
Yeah, TJ Watt had more sacks, more broken up passes, more hits for negative yards, like hits behind the line of scrimmage. Overall, he was a little better than Aaron Donald last year. Aaron Donald's just a monster, though. But Aaron Donald was also double teamed a lot more than TJ Watt was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was close between them, but I think they should have given it to TJ Watt last year because I think he did a little more for his team. Aaron Donald had number 1 defense behind him. The Steelers had like the number 18 defense. So, and to stand out like that on a number 18 defense, like, it means a lot. But to be a piece of the number 1 defense, and still be dominant the way that you are. That's always also a huge thing. But I think Aaron Donald squeaks it out this year. But I think Yannick Ngakoue and TJ Watt and probably Chandler Jones are all going to be in the mix.
Fair enough. I like it. I think Aaron Donald's always going to be in the mix. Pretty sure if he won it, he'd be the only person to win it 4 times. I don't think anybody's won it more than that. Because I think him and JJ were tied at 3, I think. Because JJ won it 3 times. I know that. And then Aaron Donald's at 3. But I think Aaron Donald.
There's 3 people that are tied for 3.
There you go.
It's JJ Watt, Aaron Donald, Lawrence Taylor.
I was going to say, I knew it was going to be LT. I mean, you can't really think of anybody else that it would be other than that,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like if he doesn't get the record this year and have 4 defensive player of the years, he's going to get it before he retires.
Oh, yeah. He'll own the record. I mean, Khalil Mack could always be up there too. Like Khalil Mack was pushing Donald for a while. I think he won 2. Or was it just, I think he won 2 defensive players of the year. Because he won, then Donald won, then he won, and then Donald won 2 in a row.
Yeah, they were going back and forth a lot for sure. So yeah, I think Aaron Donald will be in the mix. I think DeForest Buckner actually will be like in the mix. He was in the NFL top 100. I mean, I know it's by the players, but he was ranked as the second best defensive player on the list. Aaron Donald is the first. So, if you're getting ranked up there with Aaron Donald, and when they were doing the interviews with the players, they were like, him and Aaron Donald are the 2, best players. If your name is being spoken with Aaron Donald, then I think you're going to be in the mix,
Yeah,
so I think it'll be interesting, and we'll see how well TJ Watt's able to do if teams start double teaming him now, now that he did have such a good year, last year. So
yeah,
we'll see if he's able to put up the same numbers as he was last year. All right. Well, I always love doing the division picks and kind of like, predicting what's going to happen. It's one of my favorite episodes next to when we start doing our picks. So this year for our competition for who gets the most games right, are we doing another pop bet, or what are we doing? What's gonna be on the line this year for our NFL picks of the week?
Let's do a pop and swap bet.
Pop and swap?
Pop and swat. SWAT.
What's that then?
So the loser has to give the winner a pop.
Yeah.
And the winner gets to use a paddle and swat the loser's ass.
Do you have a paddle?
I can make one.
You can make one.
Or just go buy like a wood oar or something that we can use.
Go to like Trader Joe's or whatever and just wham! Just do it like inside the store. Don't even buy it. Just be like, hey, can I like see one of those? And the guy's just like, yeah, sure. And then you hand it to one of us and then whack. Yeah, this one's good. And just hand it back to him.
Record it while we're doing it.
I was nervous there for a second because I was thinking of How I Met Your Mother, and I was thinking you were talking about a slap bet, and I was like, man, I don't want to get slapped by you. That would be awful. That would be so bad.
No, I wouldn't slap you.
I was just like, oh god, slap bet. That would be terrible. Yeah. Oh gosh, I've seen the videos of like they have professional slapping, which I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And, like some of those, like even the women are like freaking jacked, like all out, and like they hit them so hard it almost knocks them out. Like their eyes like go back, and then they're like, oh okay, I'm okay. Like that's insane. I would not want to be slapped that hard. That would be terrible.
No, there's actually one I watched. What was it? think it was just a joke of one, but it was this really big ass dude. Like, I mean, the dude's probably 6'3", 6'4", 400 pounds. But I mean, he's fat, but he's strong as hell. And he's doing a slap thing against this dude that's like 5'9", like 125 pounds, like maybe 150. Like, little dude slaps him, and he just kind of stands there and goes, "Okay, my turn." Comes up, slaps him, dude, lays his ass out. Like, he just, hat falls off. You watch the eyes roll in the back, and he just drops.
Oh no.
But it was like Florida versus COVID. It was,
oh my
like,
god.
they put Florida over the skinny guy and COVID over the big guy. It was funny as hell.
Oh my gosh. What a great meme. That's hilarious. Well, maybe we can arrange some type of pop and SWAT thing or something. Maybe we'll get something going. I mean, I won last year, so I'm pretty confident.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
What did I buy you?
I think you got me the Tina Pop, didn't you? Or was it something else?
I think I got you something else, but I don't remember. I think you you picked something else. It was that Transformers one.
Oh yeah.
You
The
picked it out, and I bought it right there and sent it to you.
Yep, it was the GameStop one, yeah, the sound wave. That's right. So yeah, and then
I still have the Tina Pop. I haven't mailed it because you're moving out here. So
true. And then I got you the Raiders one for the number one pick thing.
Yeah, you got me that Howie Long, man. Howie Long beast.
So yeah, we'll have our annual pop bet for picking, and we'll do our normal scoring and upsets and blocks and everything. But like I said, it's gonna be a lot more fun because we'll be able to do it in person. I don't know if we'll be able to do the first week in person. We'll have to see, unless we do it on a weekend. We'd have to do it on like a Saturday or Sunday, because I'll be driving up starting on the 31st is my goal. I want to start driving on the 31st. Huh?
So 1 week from today.
Yeah. That's my goal, is to hopefully leave on the 31st. So
nice.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, we appreciate everyone. We appreciate the listens. As always, you can catch us out on this fabulous YouTube video. You can catch us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Share it with your friends and family. Get those likes, get those shares. We always appreciate getting more listens. Hopefully we'll get more hosts to come on and different things like that. Hopefully get some contests going, and get some more prizes out there and different things like that. So we appreciate the love, and we always gotta, I don't know when we're gonna stop doing this, but we always wrap up the show,
when he retires.
When he retires. Okay.
Yeah. It's just the Earl Thomas still not signed.
I just wanted to get like an animation of when we say that, just him coming across the screen. He's just like,
right.
I don't know. Just some type of photo.
No, it'll be him on the cart flipping off Pete Carroll.
Just him on the cart driving across the screen. Like, it's just him with the middle finger, just.
We can make that happen.
Well, you can make that happen, yeah. Just like I don't know, I would love to be able to do all these different animations or different things. Like when you were talking about the Mark Sanchez butt fumble, like as soon as you said it, I wanted to instantly have a picture of him running into Mark Sanchez going poof, and then just the sound effect of doink, but we don't have enough money to be able to do these fancy things, so we'll
get into video editing and stuff. That's something that I'm looking into, is some video editing. Maybe my nephew actually is really getting into it. So maybe start looking at that to edit our videos and stuff like that and add little things like that, which will be cool.
That will be awesome. Well, we'll have fantasy football league. We'll have our picks starting on Sunday, so that'll be good and fun. It'll be a live draft. Yeah, until then, we will catch you guys on the next episode.
Later.
Peace.